Hey everyone, Tim Valentine here. I want to talk a little bit today about one of my favorite things to do. It's something I started about a year and a half ago, about a year ago. When I got my copy of P90X2, I got one of these babies in it, and it's called a rumble roller. And I looked at it and I thought, well, what am I supposed to do with this? I mean, it's not heavy enough to do push-ups with, and I didn't know what rumble rollers were used for until I got into the program and watched Tony Horton go through a number of routines about what this does and the self myofascial release and how great it was for him and the impacts that it had on his life and what it was doing for him and his flexibility and his mobility. This other one is also a foam roller, but it's what you call a standard foam roller, and it's smooth. And you can use something like this when you first start out foam rolling, so not quite as it's not quite as rough as the rumble roller. But I find that the rumble roller gets a little deeper massage for me, and I prefer to use that. This is a little too soft, so I'm just kind of going to throw that aside. We'll talk about this one. Now this you can get at Beachbody, and I'll give you links next to the video here, so you can just click on them and just go and see what they are. There's two different sizes. There's one that's this long, obviously, and this came, like I said, with my P90X2 package that I bought. It was included as part of that package. Then there's also a shorter one that's about the same size as the smooth roller that I just had. It's a little shorter. If you travel a lot, I'd recommend getting the shorter one, because that'll fit into your carry-on bag, and you can take that with you when you go somewhere. And trust me, if you start doing foam rolling, you'll want to take that foam roller with you wherever you go. And you can get both sizes. The smooth one actually comes with the Tai Cheng package. I would, if you had a choice to pick between the smooth one and the rumble one and the rough one here, I would pick the rumble roller. It's a little bit more firm. You get a better massage, and for somebody like me who struggles with range of mobility and having my muscles stiff and sore all the time, this is fabulous. I use it before workouts, and I use it at night before I go to bed. So if I've done a workout all day or I've had a tough day, and when your muscles are sore and tired, you roll on this, and it kind of helps to invigorate. So what the myofascial release does is it allows your muscles to just kind of loosen up a little bit. And let me show you a couple of exercises. I want to keep the video fairly short, so I'm going to run through a couple things. When you do this routine with a foam roller, you should take about 20 minutes to go through all the different things. And then as you go through a number of ways, you can find different ways to get the muscles that are sore involved in your routine. So starting off with, we can just kind of start with basic stuff and roll the calves out, right? Because pretty much everybody wrecks their calves. And you just kind of give it a nice slow roll. And I start with the mid-calf first. And, you can have your butt on the ground or up, or you can have, both legs at the same time. Or I put one leg over the other, and that gives me a little more weight, and that adds a little bit more pressure on the leg on the muscle that I'm working. Now, what you're looking for are trigger points, and you don't have to know when you hit one, because your body will tell you. First time I hit a trigger point, I think I just about jumped off the roller, because it actually is a very sensitive spot in your body. And what you want to do is you want to find that trigger point, and then you just want to breathe, and maybe you just want to kind of stop. And what I'll do, if I find a trigger point on my calf, like I'll roll the calf back and forth, but I'll stay right on that trigger point and maybe kind of up and down a little bit, and I'll spend a little bit more time on that trigger point. When I roll my calf, I'll roll the middle calf, and then I'll tip my toe to the inside, and I'll roll the inside part of the calf, and then I'll tip my toes to the outside, and I'll roll the outside part of the calf. I find that for me, the pressure that the place that I find the most trigger points is on the outside, in between the outside and the mid calf, and so I kind of will rock back and forth a little bit because I get on that trigger point, and then I just kind of work it out. And you want to do both legs that way. And that really helps, when you're walking. And you can kind of roll the foam roller up and get your upper legs too. You can kind of roll over on the side and catch your thigh muscles. The other muscle group that I do quite a bit on is the thigh muscle. And I just kind of want to do that real quick here for you. And basically, you just kind of, you'll just lay on the foam roller and roll back and forth. And, you know, same thing here. If you find a trigger point, just stay on it and make sure when you roll you're breathing. And it's not really a, you know, don't make it a lot of work. You just kind of relax into it and try to enjoy it. So you can roll in 3 different positions to roll on your thigh. You go straight and, you know, with your hips flat, and then you turn your hips at a 45 and try to get, you know, the 45-degree angle. And then you get your T-band, and you're perpendicular with the ground and with your hips, and then you just kind of roll across your T-band. And, you know, if you have back pain, these 3 muscle groups that you're rolling out are really going to affect your back pain. You'll notice a big difference because if your leg muscles are tight, your hips are tight, your thighs are tight, what you're going to do is you're going to force your body to use the lumbar area to do movement that you should be doing in your hips. And if you do the lumbar movement in your lumbar, you're gonna cause that lumbar region to do something it wasn't designed to do. It was designed to have stability and support, not for movement. That's what the hips are there for. And if your hips are all triggered up and tightened up, they're not going to move. And you're going to force your lumbar region to do something that it's not natural to do. The last one that I want to talk about, and you can kind of figure out, you know, other things that you want to do, and just kind of play with it. But start with these, and then kind of work your way around it and kind of roll other areas. But this one is what I want to do is called a T-spine roll. And I like this because it really helps to actually get my flexibility in this. I'm actually stretching the front part of my body, although I'm rolling the back. And what you do is you get your knees up, and so your heels are next to your buttocks, and then you throw your arms over your top like you're a referee signaling a touchdown. And then you just kind of push yourself over, and you keep your butt on the ground, and you just roll. And I get to the neck, and I kind of roll in the neck, and I spend a little time on there and breathe on it. And then because I have issues with my shoulders, I spend a little more time also with my shoulders. And I will kind of roll back and forth on my shoulders. And as I go, you try to keep your butt on the ground. And then when you straighten your legs up, about the time you straighten your legs up, the roller should be right underneath your shoulder blades, or just past them a little bit. And then you just kind of relax back. And what you're trying to do here is you're trying to stretch your front side out a little bit. That allows you to posture up and have good posture. If you're kind of hunched over like this all the time, then you want to roll the T-spine, and that's how this goes. And you know, you coming back, you just kind of roll back. And you know, again, if you feel trigger points, spend a little time on them. But all you need to do is go out and back. It doesn't really take a lot. And when you get down, I mean, you'll notice a huge difference. I think this is about $40, $50. So you can get them on Beachbody. You can get different variations of this. That some of them don't have the big bumps on them. Some have, you know, just kind of rough surfaces on it. And you can get those at your sporting goods store. You see a lot more of them. Yoga supply stores, they'll have these. A lot of yoga people are starting to use these things. They're absolutely wonderful. If I was going to spend $50 purchasing some physical exercise equipment, this would be my first choice of things to buy. It wouldn't be a set of weights. It would be this. This allows you to move. It gets you relaxed. It puts your muscles in the right frame of mind, if muscles have frame of mind, to go out and start doing the workout. And if you're kind of a little stiff, sore in the morning, get one of these. It'll solve a lot of your problems. And I'll leave a link for you underneath the video so you can go look it up. There's a blog that if you're on this, will be a link to my blog as well. And you can go there and you can read more about my experience about foam rolling. In the blog, I have a number of articles about foam rolling that link to other sites, so you can go there and do your research on foam rolling anytime you want. So, until the next video, have a great day.